Hello and welcome to Age of Empires Definitive Edition. This is a little bit of an experiment for me. It's my first solo pre-recorded content. I've been a fan of Age of Empires for 20 years. I first played it when I received the demo on a disc in a PC Gamer magazine or something like that, and have subsequently spent probably hundreds of hours playing the campaigns and multiplayer, mostly as co-op, with my brother and also a dear friend from high school and college who was lost all too soon. In fact, I want to dedicate this playthrough to him. Rogan. To you, old friend. So, Definitive Edition contains all 4 of the original campaigns, as well as the 4 Rise of Rome campaigns, and a couple of campaigns in modified form that were released with the demos, Reign of the Hittites and the First Punic War. For this playthrough, I'm going to start with the Ascent of Egypt campaign. And I'm going to start with the Scenario 9, which is the River Outpost. The first 8 scenarios are mostly just tutorials, and they kind of don't have any story. Then we'll proceed through the other campaigns after we finish this one in some approximation of historical order. I'm going to do a little bit of modified orders with that, because some of them overlap a little bit, but some semblance of historical order. Alright, so let's get started with
For centuries,
Scenario 9,
the
the
Nubians of the
River
south
Outpost.
have attacked and pillaged our cities in Upper Egypt. Pharaoh Senusret III is determined to deal with them for good. His plan is to subdue Lower Nubia by building forts along the Nile River all the way to the Fourth Cataract. To the south of your position, there is an island on the Nile, which would be an ideal location for such a fort. Explore the island, clear it of enemies, and build a town center and 2 sentry towers there. But remember to be wary of Nubian raiders coming down the river.
And the rest of this is just the text on, kind of the tutorial text for this. We're not going to read the hints, and we could look at the history, I suppose. So following the first intermediate period, Prince Mentuhotep II of the 11th dynasty built on the successes of his predecessors and reunited Egypt by defeating the rulers of Heracleopolis in Lower Egypt. This ushered in a new period in Egyptian history called the Middle Kingdom. Mentuhotep II made Thebes the capital of the kingdom and is sometimes referred to as the Second Menes, in remembrance of the first ruler of the Old Kingdom, identified with Narmer, who united Egypt centuries before. Egyptian society has changed drastically since the Old Kingdom, despite the attempts by the Middle Kingdom pharaohs to emulate their predecessors from the previous era. Local officials had much more power and wealth, and it had become easier for them to rise in rank. These differences are apparent in Egyptian art of the period. Pharaohs were no longer the only ones commissioning art, as local rulers and the upper class could do so as well, resulting in a greater variety and diversity of artwork. Conflict with Egypt's southern neighbors, the Nubians, was very common in this period, but it was not until the reign of Senusret III that Egypt made significant conquests in the south. Senusret III led 4 military expeditions against the Nubians and managed to bring Lower Nubia in the north of the region under Egyptian control. To consolidate these conquests, the pharaoh ordered his subordinates to build a network of fortifications along the border to block further raids by Nubians. Senusret III is also known to have led a military expedition into Canaan, but his main achievement was in bringing stability and prosperity to Egypt. During his reign, the cults of Osiris and Ammon became increasingly popular, and Osiris would become a very important god of the afterlife, where he served as ruler and judge. Senusret III also finished the construction of Ammon's temple near Karnak, begun by Mentuhotep II. This temple was the largest religious building ever constructed at its time. The reigns of Senusret III and the other kings of the 12th dynasty are considered to be a golden age for Europe. Okay, so I apologize for any mispronunciations of names. I'm doing as best as I can. I think we're going to play on standard, which is the second easiest. I'm more interested in kind of the story and the timeline of this game, as I always have been with games like this, rather than actually making it so difficult that it's not really possible to finish. So we're just going to play on standard. So we need to build on this island, 2 sentry towers, and a town center. Now, what I usually like to do when I'm playing is I will usually... I'm the kind of person who does a large amount... I should have done that the opposite way. A large amount of sort of stockpiling and defensive measures before I really go on the offensive. So that's kind of the way that I play, but we'll kind of get there the same way either way. I would like to build a stable relatively soon so I can get a scout horse to scout what lands I can reach. I can reach via horse, and then we'll scout more later with the ships. As you probably noticed, I clicked and built all the villagers that I could with the money, or the food, not money, with the food that I had available to me at the start. That, unless it's a very military mission, I tend to build in that manner so that I can get as much food harvesting started as possible, as well as other materials. Close as this, about half done. Okay. And then about the time that's done, we should have just about enough food for harvesting, or for creating the scout. Oh, he's done already. Alright. I think we need 80 for this. Yes, we need 80. Okay, so we have 4 villagers on food, 3 on wood, 1 on gold, 0 on stone, and we are using 9 of our 10 population with 1 idle villager. I think we'll go with more food at this point. We haven't really built a whole lot at this point, but we can go with more food. And as soon as we get 40 more food, I will build another villager. Go. And here's our scout. Scouts have a wide viewing range, so we can kind of go around the edges of our land here within reason. We can see the enemy here already has a bunch of scout ships, so we need to be wary of those as we're building out into the water. Let's see, we have another person here. I think maybe another logging person. And we can build 1 more villager. Then we can start kind of building our infrastructure up a little bit. This might be an island that we're on. It's been a long time since I played this game. I haven't played Definitive Edition at all. And so as we get into the later campaigns, especially the 2 that were part of demo versions, we'll get into stuff that I've never actually played before. And I think a 6th person on food would be prudent at this point. Okay, that looks like a large forest. 1 more for a builder. And then we'll probably make another one soon for another gold miner. We haven't really started spending gold yet, so I'm not that concerned about having another gold miner. Looks like we have plenty of gold available to us with the 5 mines here. 1 here, 2 here. Let's clean this shadow area up here. There's a lion there, of course. I kind of go back and forth on things like lions and crocodiles and things like that. Whether to attack them for meat or to just kill them with military units. I will probably do both throughout the course of this series. Alright, so we have a large forest, apparently, on the backside of this landmass. Keep moving. We had a villager. Yes, we do. Okay. So, we already have a storage pit. It's here. We have a granary already. We could probably start building some military buildings. You know, actually, we should build a dock first. problem is going to be building a dock in some place where they won't immediately start attacking it. This is an elephant. I think there are elephant, I don't know, bull elephants or something like that that are aggressive. These will only attack once attacked. And here's another crocodile. And we really don't need to go down there and pester him. They're too slow to attack a scout on a horse, but they could attack any sort of walking, any sort of ambulatory unit. So, actually the dock might have been better served to be built down here, away from these ships a little bit, so we could have some fishing going on. But it'll be okay. And let's see. I think that's it for scouting, which is kind of good, at least until we start expanding out in the ocean. Okay, a couple of you guys can come up here. Not all of you, though. Alright. There we go. And maybe 2 of you over here. Not horribly concerned about it, but just kind of spread them out a little bit. Build a couple of fishing boats. They may start getting attacked by these scout ships, so I'm going to build some military boats very soon. But at least we can get them started. We'll need to build a market soon. Farms, government center in a little while. I think we could build the barracks. That might be a good idea. And we can send this guy to start mining some gold. So it looks like we have 2 here, 2 here, 4 here for gold. So that should last us easily, comfortably this game. This map. If you saw, I set the first 3 of the 4 loggers to clearing the trees around the town center. I like to build my non-military buildings. I was afraid of that. They're going to attack. Okay, well, we'll fish what we can until they... Yeah, I can make 3. We don't have enough wood. Okay. Oh, we need more houses, too. Okay, well, that's the job of the builder now. Build us some housing back in here. It looks like they destroyed one and left the other one alone. That's the unfortunate thing. And the problem is these scout ships are going to probably die immediately. Let's take like half of these guys up here and start killing the gazelle. Yeah, they destroyed them both. Okay. There's one. Focus your attack. They'll probably both start shooting. And it's going to be a pretty close match. I think we're just slightly less damage than they are because we got the first shot. I would like to upgrade these as well as soon as possible because we need to clear the river of any enemy ships. Oh, houses are done. Okay. Build an archery range. Nope, we don't have enough wood. Okay, we'll wait on that. Might help to build a couple more citizens. Yeah, the one got destroyed, and the other one is... And we're about even. Okay. We'll at least clear these first couple. And that'll be very helpful. So if you haven't played Age of Empires before, the villagers gathering berries or from farms will deliver to a granary or to the town center. A couple more mining wood. And we have one in the queue. Okay, good. That'll be our next builder. Alright, we're going to have just this one last one left over. And we don't have enough wood to build much. We don't really need any more houses at this point. And these guys are done gathering berries. We could start them on farms, I suppose. We don't have enough wood for farms. Alright, we'll go ahead and start killing some more gazelle. We can probably just go ahead and attack that lion. All 6 of them together would be good to attack that lion. Where's our builder at? He can come over here. Don't get in the range of the tower, please. More, maybe. We'll do like 3. Built. Maybe? Oh, wait. Okay, so if you click a villager on a damaged ship or building, it'll repair that ship or building. Also, certain land units like ballistae and stuff like that, the villagers can repair. Where'd the other gazelle go? Seems dangerous. Actually, let's grab all 6 and have them attack the lion. Then we can send a few of them back this way. There we go. The other gazelle must have run off someplace, because I think there was still a 3rd one available. I don't think they cleaned one that fast. No, you don't need to attack the towers as a ship. Thank you. Have a nice day. Okay, we'll rebuild our 2 fishing ships. I think we're okay with 2 war galleys. And then we can gather some more wood and move on with that. Lions don't give a whole lot of food, but enough. Gazelle must be back here someplace. They must have run off. Maybe they'll see it and attack it. Oh, we have a longer range than those watchtowers. Well, that's convenient. Okay, builder, you can probably build an archery thing now. Yes, you can. Maybe we'll go there with that. So I kind of like to build my military buildings near the place where they're going, and then my non-military buildings in the back away from immediate danger. They're still potentially in danger, but at least not immediate danger. I think once they're done with all of these animals, we can go attack the elephant. Because we also want to build a storage pit down here as well. Okay, well, I guess they're not going to find the other gazelle. So we'll just move on and kill the elephant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys. Come down here and build a storage pit. We'll have to kind of monitor these guys because they'll start attacking. I don't think they'll actually attack the elephant. I think they'll start chopping trees. We don't want them to do that. We'll probably scare up that other gazelle soon enough, someplace. And then we can go and attack it later. Back to the fishing you do. And attack the elephant. It'll gouge 1 or 2 of them. At least it didn't kill any. That's good. Okay, so once the elephant is dead, we'll have to start building farms. So we'll need to have some wood stored up. So I don't want to overbuild too much, but no, building the market would be a good idea at this point. Not the farm, the market. We don't have enough wood. We have 4 of them there, 2 of them here. Okay, now we have enough wood. Market. Maybe 2 spaces away. I want you guys to abandon those trees and actually come down here and start chopping these trees. Because I want to clear some space around the granary so that I can put the fields in as close as possible to the granary. The shorter the distance they have to walk, the better off you are. I'd like to do that fishing ship as well, but we'll have to wait on that. So we have plenty of food stockpiled. We have no age upgrades to do. We can't get to the Iron Age yet. We can upgrade some units, but I think we'll just do some axemen for right now. Maybe 4 of them. The reason I wanted this is for these upgrades here. Artisanship improves our woodcutters. The wheel improves all villagers and also gives us the ability to make chariots. And the plow boosts the farm production so that we can produce 100 more food per farm. And that's what I'm going to do first, because as soon as this elephant is completely done, we need to start making farms. So we need to, I want to make the wood that we spend on the farms be as advantageous as possible. And the way to do that is by maximizing that. So we'll wait until this research is done before we do the farm upgrade, or start placing farms, I should say. We can build maybe another house, because we're going to max it out really quick here with the other 2 axemen that we have selected. I should have gotten to this a little bit faster, but we can get there soon enough. Let's pick you guys all up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Eventually we'll have a temple made, and we can have one of the priests come by and heal this villager. Okay, and it's almost done. Up here we have the current status of each sort of build or training or recruiting or whatever you want to call it in process. So now that that's done, we can place these farms. And we can only place them until we run out of wood, which is going to be really soon. At least we have 3 placed. That makes 4. We'll just place them as we have the wood to place those last 2. I would like you woodcutters to chop this tree down, because we can put 1 farm field in right here. Maybe we'll borrow a couple of these guys from up here as well, and have them help out down here. The range is just to the nearest storage pit, so that it really doesn't matter a whole lot. Not you. I'm using the shortcut key to jump to the next villager, which is also can be done by clicking this button, but it's the period key on the keyboard. Okay, another farm. Not there, but we can make it here. And then this one is our last one. And we can't build that yet. I kind of wish you could blueprint build, or at least see where you can place this, but I guess we could get another 3x3 building that might be cheaper. None of them are cheaper. Much cheaper. Actually, none of them are cheaper at all. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. We can actually build it right there once we have enough wood, which will be very soon. I will eventually add 2 more villagers farming, so that we have all 8 kind of nearest squares around this granary filled. And the good thing is with the fields, the other villagers can walk over it, so it doesn't hurt access to trees for these woodcutters. You can almost get the wheel. We're a little bit off for that. Otherwise, we need to build... I don't think we get attacked in this scenario, so building watchtowers isn't necessary, and we don't have enough stone for it anyway, or at least building them on this island. There is some stone on the island we need to build watchtowers on, so we will do that when we get there. The government center will need to do pretty soon, and the temple will need to do pretty soon, but I want to let them stockpile up a little bit more wood first. What might be prudent at this point is getting the fishing ship. We can also build those last 2 villagers for the farming, or we could actually give them to woodcutting to get woodcutting caught up. That might actually be better at this point because we have the fishing ships. I use shift click so that I could place multiple houses. The villagers aren't super bright. They will build the last one that you placed instead of the first one. So be careful with that if you're placing houses that might block in later houses. In this game's sequel, Age of Empires 2, the villagers are smart enough to build them in the order that you tell them to. Speaking of Age of Empires 2, its definitive edition comes out in a few weeks, and I plan on playing that. let's move this to 3. I like to have my horses on 3 and my melee ground units or units on foot on 1. Just the way that I play. I don't know if there's advantages or disadvantages to it. Each unit has the better types of units that it can attack. Usually the barracks units are a little more sturdy, with the exception of slingers. They're a little more sturdy, and so they're better to take the attacks of things like stable units. Stable units are faster, so they're better to attack ranged units. And then ranged units, because of their distance, they're best to attack the barracks units, or most of the barracks units that are on foot. The slinger, even though he's here, he's a kind of a special unit because he can do damage, as the tooltip says, on archers, walls, and towers. So some of the units have special uses. I don't really use the slingers all that much in my own play, but if I didn't have ballistae yet, then they would be a good idea to use. We can build ballistae, I believe. Yes, we have the siege workshop and the academy. Or not ballistae, sorry, catapults. So I don't really need slingers for that purpose. And I'd rather just run the archers down with some camel riders or some chariots than... actually, the camel riders are better against horse units and elephant units, but I'd rather run them down with some chariots than use them for anything else. Let's see, we can probably go ahead and start building more stuff here. No, let's maybe go here. This looks... Actually, we'll put it out here. 2 spaces away again, just so we can have units to be able to walk through. And that's our government center, so I'll also need to build a temple. The academy are like pikemen, I think, or something along that line. Phalanx, maybe. They have a shield and a large spear that they attack with. So they are really good against cavalry units because of their shields, their armor, as well as their pike. Okay, so we upgraded our fishing boats to fishing ships. We could do a couple more of those. We have plenty of food at this point. So I think I will wait on that and save the wood for building buildings. We're still researching those items, which will give us... I think we'll get the chariots in this mission. I'm not positive on that one. I see our 2 gold miners have already cleaned out all 4 of those gold mines and are working on the 5th. Just barely. What we'll largely spend the gold on are these upgrades here that improve the armor and attack power of all of our units, or many of our units at least. Here at the government center, we have a few different researches we can do. I'll usually do this one to upgrade our horse and camel units. Depending on this situation, I'll do this one, especially if we're going to potentially get attacked. We don't necessarily really need it in this level. This one's really nice because it cuts the barracks load in half on the population. I think there's a limit still of 50 population in this game, so doing this saves you some population. And then finally, writing a shared exploration with allies. We only have 1 other faction on this map, and they are our enemy, so that's not going to help us any anyways. Alright, that stuff's still being researched. Let's do a temple. I'll build it over here. Now that we have built a government center, we can build more town centers, which is essential for the success of this mission. So we have to have the government center in order to accomplish that. I suppose we could build some units. We could also make the improved bowmen, which is what I'm planning on doing. So we have the bowmen And then we'll get another archery unit here. And then we have chariot archers here now that we've researched the wheel. Which is kind of an interesting combination of a fast-ranged unit. And then we have chariots over here, which are good for running down things like ranged units. And as the tooltip says, also priests. We could probably build another storage pit over here to shorten their reach or their walking range. Maybe we can put it in right here. And that'll help with all 4 of these guys who are here mining and cutting trees. And the same thing with these guys. We could build a storage pit closer, but I think I want to just force them into clearing the trees that are in the way the most. Like that. I think that's all the trees that are in the way, or at least most of them. So we can clear those and be able to build the other 2 farms when we want to. As we start building a lot of units, we will burn through this food very fast. And some of the gold. I do want to do this, actually, before we spend too much time talking about it. I will do the composite bow upgrade, but we can start building units as the improved bowman, which will get upgraded automatically to the composite bowman. So I'll do the building before I do... Are we getting attacked? Must be the tower shooting at the fishing ships. I want to do a few chariots. 4 of those sounds good. Oh, we can make a priest now. The priest upgrades, I do some of them, I don't do some of them. This is movement speed. I'm probably not going to do that one in this map. Don't really need... I'm probably not going to take the priest anywhere except maybe to heal that villager and do some other healing. So we'll go ahead and take this 30% more effective bonus here. Build another house. We did the chariots. We did the archers. And I think we'll leave... Oh, we could actually get this one. That'll boost the... It should boost the hit points for the chariot riders as well. We can check that though. 133. We should get plus 15%, I think it was. So we should get about 150? 160 hit points then? Don't quote me on the math. Alright, so you can come over here. Just by being in range, it will heal whichever one of these villagers. There, that one right there. Whichever one is suffering. I do want to siege workshop this time, for sure, because I want to be able to shoot these watchtowers from a range. I don't know if there's any other docks on this map, so I don't know that the trade boats are really that good. But we'll need a couple of transport boats, so we'll go ahead and make those. Yep, he is healing. And there he's done. Alright, I'll keep him around just to keep the units healed up. I should put them somewhere down a higher number, like around 6. Those are already set. So I'm making one more charioteer. We do have our bowmen. I like to put those on 2. Those are my anti-infantry, basically. We could start these researches. Do 2 there and 2 here. Actually, we could do 1 over here. Forgot we had 3. Right? We have our siege workshop. I'm not going to bother with an academy this time. It's not that necessary for this mission, I don't think. We have to build sentry towers. So we need to do the tower upgrade, which is here to a sentry tower. And that's all we need this villager for until we expand to the new island. and start building. Let's build a couple more war galleys. Actually, I think we're fine with just the 6 villagers here. The food. Got a decent-sized army going. We could do one more thing. We could build 2 more houses to get to our 50 population. Keep moving these guys out of the way. Unfortunately, we can't upgrade the transport ship. Don't shoot at it, please. Thank you. And we need more wood. We can probably just do that. Oh yeah, there's plenty of stone on this island. Because they don't have a very big range. And the ships are better. I love it when that kind of thing happens. If we're careful, we could go all the way around the whole island and not even need these catapult stone throwers, but I'm not always that good. So it might be prudent to have them available. Alright, we can go over here and keep destroying towers. I don't think there's anything... There may be a couple of units on this map, but I think everything defense-wise is just the watchtowers. We don't need to do this medium wall upgrade, but we could turn on the automatic reseeding of farms. This is a feature that I think is new for Definitive Edition, that they pulled from Age of Empires 2, which is very handy to have, because otherwise your farms run out of wood, or run out of food, and then they sit here fallow, I think that's the right word, waiting for you to replant them. By enabling this, the villagers will automatically replant. If there's enough wood available. Of course. Alright. I think we are pretty close to being ready to attack. We need to get these guys onto 3. We'll need to bring our villager over eventually. But we can build one more house. Let's build one more house. Just for fun. We've done all that research. There's nothing there to do. We'll put these guys on 4. And actually, let's load them up first, along with maybe some of these guys. Okay, we can attack this tower now. You guys done fishing? Yes. More fish. More fish. There's some there. And I think there probably is some over here someplace. There it is. This tower is probably going to shoot at it on the way by, but that's okay. Okay, we have loaded up. Load the other one in there. Oh, don't go the long way. The sort of AI in this game is a little bit weird, but they kept the old AI. So that's kind of a good thing. Because it would be really poor. If you guys can attack that. And then attack that. We need to back up. Go. You guys can attack that. Let's let those stone throwers destroy that, and then they can come over here. I don't think I think that's all the stuff we have on this island. Yes, it is. Okay, good. I'm gonna just clean these critters out here with the soldiers. Oh, we could have actually attacked that tower. That was kind of silly. And there's more bad guys over here. As soon as that's done, which is now, we can come over here and just make sure this. Okay. We didn't actually need... I'm going to build a bunch of villagers. We didn't actually need all these military units. I forgot how simple this mission was. But it is the first mission after the tutorial, so it kind of makes sense that it would be simple. No, I don't want you guys attacking random stuff. It's not good. How are our villagers doing? Maybe we can borrow some. Take the 2 gold miners. Take a couple of woodcutters. And then we can replace some of them. Unload. Alright, we need to build a town center. How many is that? That is 4, 5, 6. I think I built like 8 or something. We can probably cancel some of these. We borrowed 2 woodcutters, so we can send them back to woodcutting. And we can build a storage pit out here and continue with the gold mining. Not that we really need it, but I tend to like to harvest everything, or a lot of things. And all of you guys need to get on stone mining, not on tree cutting. And once we have enough stone to make the 2 towers, I'll steal these guys off of the tower, off of the stone mining to get the towers. Okay, good. Go there. You'll be done in a second, and we can have him do that. Alrighty. You can come over here and build this tower. Get a few more, and then we can start the second tower. Alright, next guy right there. Come here. Nope, nope, no more mining for you. Build. Actually, let's steal a villager for each one to double up the speed on the build. We don't really need all of these guys mining stone anymore because this will be the win condition here. Go over and help, get that one finished up. And that's it. We completed the first real campaign
Risking
mission.
their lives, your builders managed to construct the fort on the Nile River Island. It is only one of many forts, but it is certainly the most important as it controls access to the river itself. Your stalwart soldiers man the fortifications, and thus the Nubians have given up on their attempts to raid Egypt. You do not believe the Nubians will be stopped permanently, but your actions have brought peace for the time being.
All right, so that's the end of the mission and the end of the first episode. So thank you everyone for joining me for this adventure into Age of Empires, and we'll see you all next time. Bye now.